It's always a combination. Yeah. In a way, the act of splitting culture into 5 dimensions is an analytical act. Yeah. I said that the Dutch are very good at analysis, of looking at things apart. Yeah? Say, okay, this is a glass, this is a bottle. Yeah? And then you say, well, how do they relate to each other? So, well, that's not important. This is a glass and this is a bottle. Yeah, but could you have some kind of relationship of cause and effect, and the liquid from one goes into the other? I said, yeah, maybe, but that's not important. This is a bottle and this is a glass. So they look at things apart and they're comfortable with that. Yeah? So they look at culture and say, okay, we've got 5 dimensions. And they interact in all kinds of ways, but there's a tendency to look at the 5 dimensions. Yeah? In real life, it's all combined all the time. Yeah? When you look at and you single out one thing, it's always linked to others.
We very often even can't name whether some kind of behavior we are observing is due to one dimension or another dimension. Yes, how to explain it? Most likely it's a combination.
It's always a combination. It's always a combination. So when you try to explain the Polish culture, you have to realize that it's that combination that makes the Polish culture unique. Okay, very high uncertainty avoidance, also the high PDI and the individualism and masculinity. So that combination of at least those 4, plus very low long-term orientation, which means that it's very normative. Low LTO are normative societies. Normative societies basically are people who say, this is the way of doing things. Yeah? And most of Europe is on that side, right? And the biggest difference with the Asians, and especially the Japanese and the Chinese, is they accept many truths simultaneously. Yeah? And I've often witnessed these kind of discussions. My friends at intercultural events would pick on the Japanese in the room or the Chinese interculturalist in the room and say, how can you have that? How can you accommodate different truths that are actually contradictory? Yeah, how do you do that? And the Asians don't understand the question. They say, well, why not? What's the problem? There's no problem. It doesn't make us uncomfortable to have a contradiction. Contradictions do not make Asians uncomfortable, basically. Of course, I'm exaggerating, simplifying, but that's the basic thing. And countries with low LTO are very uncomfortable about an apparent contradiction. It has to be somehow solved or explained. Yeah?